Let me hit record. I've got it.
Yeah.
But well, Jeff, you want to take it? I'll let you take it.
Yeah, no, I mean, just here, Caleb's coming in. We'll keep letting him
Yeah, I
in.
got him. Yeah, I
So,
got him.
and for
Mhm.
those of you guys that are new or haven't been here very much, I mean, we do this on Wednesdays. I mean, sometimes we go the full hour. We can go as long as we need to. Basically, just it's a chance just to connect and any questions that you guys have, anything, some of you are new to EXP, there's questions there. There's questions about deals you got going on. There's questions about marketing. There's questions about yesterday's training or things we could talk about. There's anything and everything. It's really more for you guys just to, how can we help with anything, you know? So, just a place for all of us to meet and hang out a little bit, you know? So, something we would be doing probably if we were at the office somewhere, but we do it here. So, anyway,
Sit around the water cooler. We are sitting here with our coffee cups, or I am.
yeah. And for those of you who are new, so Tim, Sean, Kathy, myself, and then Eric's not here today, but the five of us are the ones that put Freedom Team together several years ago. So you understand that. And Andy has jumped into our leadership group as well, along with Kelly. Andy is he's the YouTube guru. So he's the one we all turn to for our YouTube help. Help, Andy. Help.
Andy, why don't you share your story? Because
Yeah, sure.
for all you guys, you ones that are new on here, if you're not utilizing YouTube, I'd love for Andy to share his story because it's a free way to really get yourself out there and to create massive results. And so, Andy, kind of share what, how you started YouTube and what's happened for you since.
Yeah, I come from a car business background, so I was running a car lot in Columbus, Georgia for about 25 years. And then I moved to the beach and decided not to do anything for 2 years. And then I got a real estate license because a friend of mine talked me into it, which I want to kill her for that now. Just kidding. But so, and then I thought that the real estate and car business was going to be, I've sold cars my whole life, so this is going to be simple selling real estate. Well, it was not. When people come to a car lot, they don't come there to buy shoes; they come there to buy a car. So you don't have to chase them. You run an ad, they show up, they buy a car, instantaneous gratification, they leave. It's that simple. And then you stay in touch with them so that they'll buy the rest of their cars from you. So I thought that's the way real estate was going to be. Well, it was not. You had to chase these people and chase these people and chase these people, or at least that's what I thought. And so I was doing like everybody else, buying leads off Realtor.com and Zillow and paying astronomical amount of money for it, and it was going nowhere. These people didn't even want to talk to you. You would get a lead if you didn't call them in the first 5 minutes or gone to another agent. And then if you did call them, then you gather up tons and tons of information if they even wanted to talk to you. And then 2 weeks later, they call you up and say, "Oh, I appreciate you helping me, but I bought a house from my cousin's brother's aunt's uncle down there. They're a real estate agent. But thanks for your help." And so I was so tired of that crap. So I was ready to get out of the business. I said, "I'm done. I'm quitting. I'm going back to the car business. Real estate is not for me." And then Aileen and actually Tim kind of said, "Hey, you need to get plugged into EXP. Aileen told me, said, if you'll get plugged in for 30 days and just completely get immersed, really give it an effort for 30 days. And then I want you to go to this program with me, which was an event in Dallas, an EXP event. And that's where I saw a guy on stage talking about the power of YouTube and how the clients come to him. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's the same as a car business. How is this possible? And so I dove down the rabbit hole and bought every training program you could possibly buy on YouTube and really dove into it. And so, long story short, I went from chasing those leads to the leads chasing me now. So where they're calling us. And so we did roughly about $25 million in 22 months off the YouTube channel. And then we have probably right now another 80 to $85 million in the pipeline worth of business just from the YouTube channel. And we get on average, we're in a smaller market, but we still get on average 3 or 4 new leads a week that are incoming calls. And they're a lot different than they are off realtor.com. You know, you call somebody on realtor.com and they go, oh, well, I didn't even mean to hit the button. I didn't realize I was calling or that I was contacting anybody. And then, but these YouTube leads, when I answer the phone, they're like, oh, is this the YouTube guy? And I'm like, yeah, this is the YouTube guy. And they go, we've been watching your videos for over a year. We love them. And oh my God, we're ready to buy a property at the beach and we got all our money in hand and we're ready to go. Okay, great. So I really didn't know that it was going to work that way, but it has turned out to be that way. I mean, it was a long road to hoe. It took, took about 4 months before we got our first phone call and maybe about 7 months before we got our first deal. But then it's been like a domino effect ever since. So anyway, that's it. That's my story.
Good
What's
stuff.
in your pipeline today from YouTube?
Today, you mean as far as money?
Yeah, deal opportunities in your pipeline.
About $85 million worth of real estate, so yeah, about 85 million in sales. Somewhere in that neighborhood. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen in the next 12 months, but these are people that are, we've got in our pipeline. We're working now. We've got one closing next week from it. That I just, as we were talking, I just got an email from EXP where commission disbursement from that. So I'm like, you got to love it when that comes in. I forgot that thing was even under contract, and then I just see that commission disbursement, and I'm like, hey, there we go.
Payday. Yeah.
So,
So
yeah, gotta hate that,
is
don't you?
Here, his partner Aileen has been probably working them, so it's not like he just get them and forget about them and then, oh, tomorrow's a closing.
Yeah, that was one of my buyer's agents that we turned them over to. So anything, we basically set a rule within we've got 3 buyer's agents now. And so anything $1 million under, I turn over to the buyer's agents, and anything $1 million above, Aileen handles. And anything, around that 1.5 to $2 million range, I will get involved sometimes, if Aileen needs me to. So, I mean, it just depends. I try to stay out of the real estate side.
Andy, may I ask, so do you guys normally get do you get the full commission? You usually generally get 3%?
We're getting 2.5 to 3, yeah, usually. Now we
And
ask
that-
for 3. I've coached them to ask for 3 every single time, that their initial contract when they write it up, to ask for 3, 100%.
So if
So
I just take that 85 million, so if it's 3%, am I correct to say you're tracking 2.55 million in GCI?
yeah, I would probably lower that to on an average of say 2.5%, because yeah, we're gonna get 3 on some, we're gonna take 2 on some. I've got a listing right now that I'm taking a 2% on my side on the listing, just because the guy's he's already, this is his 9th property. So, I gave him a
Well,
little break
dude, if
on.
you lower it to 2.5, you're
It's
only at about 2 million in
yeah, still
GCI.
2.1
I
million.
mean,
That's
come
just
on, you
Yeah.
slacker.
Right?
YouTube is the long game. I just heard, I was listening to another webinar yesterday, and it nailed exactly what happened to you. It was 7 months before you got first order. And I'm talking to another guy who's kind of a YouTube pro, and he said it's generally 6 to 8 months. So he sounds pretty evident what's happened to you seems to be the norm. So it's the long game. So when I think of the funnels, Jeff, Tim, all you guys, funnels, I almost take your verbiage, Jeff. Funnels is kind of the now money, YouTube is kind of the wow, or vice versa, right? So one Facebook's going to give it to you now, but if you keep going down the road, eventually you can probably quit running ads and YouTube will take over, but it may take 6 months to a year. Is
Well,
that
the beauty part about that is if you run one in conjunction with the other, like we're setting up right now, our new construction funnels, and we're using YouTube videos in conjunction with it.
Yes.
And so doing that will increase your game by, I would think, probably it'll increase your chances by 3-fold, I would think,
Yeah.
No,
by
that's
doing it
huge.
that way.
I had a
we
guy
keep
last
telling
week,
that,
and I had a guy last week with the new construction funnel. He was frustrated. It's not, I've got leads, but just nothing so far. And the one thing he hadn't done was any YouTube stuff. And so we went back. I went back to the cash cow funnel training. Went down that. Did you watch all these? Well, I watched these. I haven't watched these. You need to watch all these because it talks about that 12 video playlist again, because there's just that emotional connection that happens
Yeah.
with video that we just can't do with text and email.
Yeah.
You know, and whether it has anything to do with the neighborhood they're looking in or the house they're looking at or whatever, it's like they just feel like, okay, I like this guy. You know, like I think we need to call this guy. You know, there's just a connection that's made there. So YouTube's a powerful tool. You know, it's not going away, that's for sure. I mean, what the forecast, I don't know, Andy, you probably like going to double like in the next 12 to 24 months or something. I mean, you think about how many millions of videos are uploaded daily on YouTube. Daily.
Well, I'll tell you some really crazy stats because I was actually, it's just funny because, well, everybody on this call, Jeff and Kathy and Tim and Sean, you all know when I get tied in on a subject, I dive down the rabbit hole and I find out everything I can about it. I'm the belief that you can hyper learn anything in 90 days. If you really want to learn something, you can, if you put enough effort into it, you can learn it in 90 days. And so, anyway, I dove down this morning. I had a vidIQ sent me a video to watch that was basically talking about the growth of YouTube. So today, I mean, as of today, Google is coming out with a new AI video generator. It's called Flow, and and basically it looks like I mean it honestly looks like something you would go to the movie theater and watch. It's that good. And so they are, since Google owns YouTube, they're actually trying to implement a program where they incentivize creators to use AI video. And so YouTube in that aspect is going to blow up. Their prediction is going to blow up 10x in the next 12 months.
Wow.
That, you're going to see creators, just making just stupid videos, just crazy stuff. And it's all AI. And the other thing is too, these videos live forever, so that's what we make, evergreen videos. So we're not just touring a house, we show what it's like to live in that neighborhood. And so those videos last forever. So if you get a new listing in a neighborhood you've already done a video on, well, you don't have to go reshoot that neighborhood. You can absolutely use the video you've already done, say a year ago, because unless something drastically changed in that neighborhood, like they built a pool they didn't have a year ago. Well, then that's all you got to do is go shoot the pool. But so you can reuse this footage. And so now I've saved everything we've ever done. We have 2.5 years worth of videos that I can pull pieces from here and there and piece it all together. So when I get ready to make a new video, I don't have to go out and spend 5 hours shooting a video. I can usually make one in about 10 minutes. So and it sits out there and churns for you 24/7, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That thing is alive. And so it's creating and generating leads while you're sleeping.
Andy, when did you do your first video? Do you remember when you posted your first video? Roughly.
Yeah, it was October. It was late October of 2022.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the very first video.
Okay. So 2.5 years ago, roughly.
Yeah.
A little longer than that. Yeah. Okay.
And it was terrible. It was awful. I mean, awful. The video aspect of it was awful. The sound was awful. It was terrible. I mean, I was scared to death. And then some of the raw footage is just so funny because it was like literally I had a camera at that point. I didn't know. I now use my iPhone for everything, but I had a camera and me and my wife are both sitting there. You could see on the raw video, we're like, is this thing even on? I'm like, I see a red button, but I'm not sure. And I'm recording the whole thing.
Yeah.
So,
That's funny. It's like
To
everything,
Sean's
though.
point,
I mean,
you
my
had,
first listing presentation was awful.
Yeah.
that's right. That's
My
right.
first buyer presentation was awful. I mean, it's just, it's all, but you figure it out as you go. So no, I'm sorry.
That's
Go ahead,
right.
Kathy. What were you going to say?
No, I was just going to say to Sean's point, you didn't get your first call for 4 months, right? And your first sale for 7 months, right? But fast forward 2.5 years later, 80 to 85 million in the pipeline. I mean, I think so many people, they get frustrated that it's not working and then they give up before it really does start working. And so with YouTube, when you start down that road, you just know that, oh, it's maybe 4 months before I get one phone call, but you don't give up. And the name of the game in YouTube is consistency. It's, you gotta have, you know, 1 or 2 new videos going out every single week. Is what
Well, I
I've
saw
what I've
that was
always
another
heard.
stat I saw on YouTube where, you know, we're about to hit 3,000 subscribers and we have over like 400,000 views, something crazy. But I did see a stat that kind of really baffled me that YouTube, less than, I think it was less than 4% of all creators on YouTube ever hit 1,000 subscribers.
Wow.
Now you think about that and then how many people actually create YouTube channels and put up videos every day. And the reason, according to ChatGPT, the reason that that is because they give up. Like you said,
Yeah.
Kathy, they give
Yeah.
up. They think that, oh, I'm just going to make a video, put it on YouTube, it's going to go viral and I'm going to become a millionaire because I'm now a creator. And it don't work that way. You know, so
Andy, may I ask, is it still, because I know things are constantly changing. I've heard you say before, when you release the videos every week, same day, same time, is that
we do.
is
Yeah.
that still part of the making the algorithms work the best?
Yeah, because that's kind of part of our promise within our videos is that we, you know, we kind of, it's kind of our tagline that we say in there that, you know, we say, you know, whether it's 9 days, 90 days, or 9 months before you're thinking about making your move, you know, please pick up that phone, reach out, give us a call. We make videos like this every single week just to be informative, just to let you know what it's like to live in the area. So we don't come across as salesy. We're not trying to tell the audience that, hey, we're here to sell you real estate and beating on your chest saying, look at me, I'm the greatest realtor out here, and you know, yada yada yada, like you see so many times. But what we're saying is we're here to be helpful. We just want to help you. We want to show you what it's like to live in the area. And if we're going to tell you the good, the bad, the yin, the yang, everything. And if you want to move here, then call us. If you don't, then stay wherever the heck you are. It doesn't matter to us. That's just kind of the attitude we have in the videos, and it's kind of worked, you know, because people are said, you know, they're like, oh my God, I got to use you as a realtor.
Andy, your channel is the Naked Realtor, is that right?
Yeah, that's it. It's just me and a cowboy hat. That's it.
Oh Lord. And why do you only have 3,000 subscribers, Sandy?
I don't know. And they're leaving every day.
Oh my goodness.
No, it's Orange Beach, Alabama living. And what's, you know, and I'm really not trying to pat myself on the back because I didn't do this alone, but I think one of the more impressive parts of our channel is the fact that we are in such a small market. You know, I mean, there's another big creator out there. I'm not going to say his name because I'm not trying to talk bad or good about him, but there's another real estate guy out there that teaches YouTube and has a YouTube channel, and he's pretty big, but he's in the Dallas market. And I just saw yesterday on Fox News that the Dallas Fort Worth area is the #1 relocation spot that people are moving to in the nation. That's the #1
You hear that,
area.
Pete?
Yeah.
You
So
hear that?
#1 area, but we're in Orange Beach, Alabama, where we only have 15,000 residents. You know, so there's only 15,000 people that live here. So what I had to learn was I can't go after the same people, the same clientele that they are in Dallas, Texas. I got to go after investors. I got to go after people looking to buy a condo here and tell them what the ROI is going to be. You know, so that's what the way we have to kind of focus our videos. So where we're talking about when we do a video of a neighborhood or of a condo complex, we're not saying, and hey, you know, there's Amazon has a hub right down here like they do in Dallas. What we're saying is, you know, there's a restaurant right across the street that you can eat at, or when somebody rents this place, here's what your renters are gonna get, you know, that kind of thing. So we have to kind of tell stats that somebody in Dallas or Fort Worth don't have to tell. You know, so that they're just showing the neighborhood.
Yeah, talk about schools, everything else. Do any of y'all have any questions about YouTube? You know, this is the perfect time to ask Andy.
Andy,
You know,
yeah, you did awesome, and I saw some of your video. Probably the highest one you got is almost 50,000 views. But that pretty good. 53,000 views. Did you promote some of those YouTube? Like I saw some that like sponsor would you think that help, like to get it out there, more people knowing about it, or this is all organic that you have?
It's all organic. I didn't do any advertising. I didn't spend a dime. I've never spent a dime on YouTube other than buying an iPhone. You know, that was the only thing I've spent, and a good microphone. That's it. And some lighting, and but the microphone's the most important part. What I found out early on is that people will watch bad video, but they will not watch bad audio. If the audio is bad, they're done. It's over. They're checking out. But if the audio is good and the video still sucks, they'll watch it, but they will not watch bad audio. So I made an investment in some pretty high dollar, you know, microphones, lapel microphones to cut down all the wind. I didn't want any wind noise in the back. And then I bought a really nice office microphone. So that was, that's the only money I really spent. And in turn, we've made close to $1,000 from YouTube with them paying us for our advertising. So it's really, I'm making money on both ends of it. So
What's the number, Andy, you need to get to again before, or is there a threshold where YouTube will start to pay you anything, whether it's
yeah,
100?
it's 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours,
Gotcha.
and then you can monetize.
Very cool. Hey, let me introduce real quick. Some of you guys have met him, but Pete Garcia that's on here. Say hi to everybody, Mr. Pete. And he's got a guest on here, Peyton. Has Peyton already got her license, Pete, or is
She is she's in the process of getting her license right now. And she's right here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area as well. So I've got several newbies that are kind of coming on getting their license, and that are interested, especially for this market. So they're pretty excited about it.
That is
Cool.
awesome.
Good.
Well, Peyton, if you're available, we'd love to see you come on camera if you got a minute and say hi to the group.
She was on, she was driving.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hello.
Mhm.
Very nice to meet you, Miss Peyton.
Yeah, don't wreck.
Yeah,
I
those Dallas
know.
freeways are crazy.
I know,
10 layers
exactly.
deep down there. It's nuts. So,
Yeah.
Pete's good to see you.
Yes,
So,
sir.
any other questions for Andy as far as anything YouTube or any YouTube thoughts, ideas, questions about anything with that? It's, a lot of us have been using it. Some of us are new to it. Some of us haven't done anything with it. It's up to you what you do.
Hello. Hey, I got a question.
Yeah. Oh, you're muted. You muted yourself. Who is that, by the way?
I was going to say the same thing. It says
iPhone 2. I don't. You cut yourself off if you have a question. We can't hear you. Well, there he's gone. Well, he'll come back.
While we're waiting, Andy, I've got a question for you. So if somebody wanted to start building a YouTube channel for attraction, what guidance would you give them in reference to how are you really creating? Because you made that comment that you're not selling, you're just basically informative. Could you kind of do the same thing from the attraction and kind of, and maybe you've already started going that direction, how would some of those videos be made? What might you say or do?
Yeah, we are using the YouTube channel for attraction, but it's mainly just a hub where we store informative videos, training videos, more or less. Now we do have some, where we have had like there's an interview on our channel. There's an interview with Jeff, where Jeff just tells his story, the whole 9 yard. Tim tells his story, so we have all that. But the majority of the stuff that we have on our attraction channel is just informative stuff. It's just training. Because I'm like everybody on this call that's doing any kind of agent attraction knows that, if you're not giving value to your agents, then you suck. Just flat out, you suck. The whole thing is you should be giving them value, feeding them stuff, letting them grow, teaching them how to, do a YouTube channel, or teaching them how to run Facebook ads, teaching them how to create the funnels, teaching them how to do anything. And especially if they're struggling, if they're having help with, need help with something. So that's the kind of videos we're putting out on the. So it's a different aspect, so it's totally different. So you don't really want to, like with our production channel, we're doing videos trying to get people to move here and to use us as their real estate agent and showing them what it's like to live here and showing them the advantages they would have if they bought in that area. But with the attraction channel, it's basically, here's some training. Hope this helps you. Contact us if it does. That kind of thing.
Cool. Patricia, you want to unmute yourself, Patricia, and ask your question? And you said your speaker isn't great. I wasn't sure what you meant there.
My speaker is not this one yet anyway. So you just make the video and you just put it out there and hashtag the heck out of it and let it live there. You don't promote it or anything on YouTube like you do.
No, I don't promote it. No, we set them up. There's a certain way to do the videos and set them up, especially with SEO and keywords and make yourself searchable. And, there's a whole process to setting it up. I was just like every other real estate agent in the world. I thought, well, if I just get a selfie stick and a camera and I go out here and I film myself at, walking through, hey, welcome to 123 Main Street. I'm a wonderful realtor. You need to buy this from me because I'm so great. And I thought, well, if you put that video out there, then people are going to, find you. But they don't. There's nobody in Michigan, I can promise you right now, typing into their computer, sitting down going, what does Andy Hollis have to sell in Orange Beach, Alabama? Because they don't know who the hell I am and they don't care. What they're searching for is what can I buy for less than $500,000 in Orange Beach on the beach, which that answer is nothing, by the way. But but that's what they're searching for. So then I wanted to make sure that our videos, our channel is the thing that pops up when they do that search. That if I have a video that says, here's what you can buy on the beach for less than $500,000, that I wanted all those keywords in there to make sure that when they search it on Google, it pops up and my video is in their face. And so they see my video and then they watch it and they go, well, I may not want to buy that property, but this guy's very knowledgeable, so maybe I should call him. And that's the idea behind it.
So do you have to pay someone to work on your SEO, or is it just the keywords that you plug in there?
I did it all myself, but that's something that I'm not going to lie to you and tell you it's easy, because it's not. Now, we've put together, myself, Tim, Aileen, we put together a YouTube training program that basically teaches people how to do it. And a lot of it is just a copy and paste kind of thing. Now, this is not a sales pitch because I'm not here to sell the product. I'm just telling you it's out there. But so the whole thing with that is we wanted to make it simple enough to where you could, if you plugged into it, you could walk yourself through and build it out to where you make yourself searchable, because that's what the whole point is. Google owns YouTube, and so it would stand to reason that if people are on Google searching, you would want your YouTube videos to pop up. You would want that to be the thing, because video is where everybody's going. I mean, when somebody wants to learn something, like if you wanted to learn yourself how to change your oil filter in your car, you would not go and just Google it and read about it. You would say, I wonder if there's a video that shows me how to do it. And then so that's where you find it on YouTube. You find that video. Well, the same thing with condos, buying condos and buying houses, is that people are doing the exact same thing. They're not just searching Zillow and Realtor.com and all this other crap where all they see is the pictures of the house. They don't see what the neighbor's house looks like, and they don't see, unless they do research on their own, they don't see exactly how far it is, like in our case, to the beach or to the grocery store. They also don't know that if you buy a condo here and you plan on going to the grocery store, you better go there during certain times or it's going to look like the place is robbed. There's going to be nothing in there during the summer. So you got to know what times and when to go to the grocery store. And that's the kind of things we tell people, so that they know what it's like when they get here.
Andy, tell people about your I mean, again, I know you're not on here, and again, we
That's
don't know
what I
what
was
we're doing
gonna
with
say.
this every time, but tell people about your program and how they can find it and what it costs for Freedom Team members and that kind of stuff. I mean, go ahead.
Yeah.
Give it a little
Yeah,
pitch.
well, I mean, it's the program is basically I forget how many modules it is. I keep adding modules to it. When something changes, I change it. So basically it's probably 30 or 40 modules, but a lot of them are short. They're 2 or 3 minutes long. But for the most part, what it does is you just start at the beginning. I mean, like it literally, when you log into it, it says, first off, the first video tells you why you should use YouTube. And the second video is just basically telling you who we are and what kind of character we expect on the channel and, that kind of stuff. And then the third one is just telling you, well, here's where you start. You got to start with creating a brand channel on YouTube, and here's how you do it, step by step, with a video and with pictures, and shows you exactly how to set it up. Then it tells you, okay, now you need to do this. Now you need to do this. It's step by step by step. Literally a 10-year-old could do it. I mean, could just go in there, log in, and walk themselves through building it out. So we sell it every day for Tim, 1995 is what we've agreed on, but for Freedom Team, we'll do that for half price.
$10.
No, not quite $10.
Probably 2,000.
$9.95.
$9.95, yeah.
I was about to buy it twice.
That's that's $995, not $9.95.
Right.
But I'll tell you, like there's programs out there that cost $25,000. And that's actually one of the courses
100%.
that Andy went through. I mean, so it's just what they've put together here is phenomenal.
And
I've
with
got
that
it.
too,
I'm
and
going through it.
we found out yesterday how important this was. But one of the things we do is every Tuesday at 1 o'clock we do a weekly coaching call where we'll sit with you. Most of the time, those coaching calls last about an hour. But we also make ourselves available within the school. So if you need something, you can just chat back and forth. And a lot of times, I can answer your question through the chat. But we had, and I know he don't mind mentioning his name, but Toy, that we actually gave away one of the programs, and Toy won it, and he's hit the ground running with it. And so Toy was on yesterday, and he with the coaching call, and he said that he's bought other programs. He spent a lot of money. I mean, a lot of money buying coaching programs. He was telling me yesterday some of it, and it's unbelievable. But he was saying just don't get that one-on-one. You
That's
don't
right.
get the answers to the questions. So what they do is if you pose a question to them, they just throw another training video at you or say, here, watch this, and then get back to me and see if that answers your question. But with us, we sit there with you for an hour and we'll go, oh, well, just share your screen. Let's look at what you're doing and let's walk you through it, and we fix it. So whatever the situation is. So
So
now with
Andy,
Toy, his problem is he's just got to get out of his own way. He's very talented and he's very consistent. He's just got to quit second guessing himself. He's just sitting there thinking, he's overthinking everything, and he should just do it. I told him yesterday, just dive in, bud.
Richard don't do that. No, I mean, he must be the only one that ever does that.
Right.
Andy,
Anybody got the shirt? You're working too hard because you're thinking too much.
Yeah, for real.
Andy,
Yeah,
that,
Caleb, go ahead. You got.
Hey,
Yeah,
hey,
go ahead.
put your Andy, put your YouTube channel. A few people are asking. Just put the link in there if you wouldn't mind.
Oh yeah.
I mean, and all of you that are in production, man, I'd start now if you haven't. And think of where this could be a year from now for you. What if you never had to go and try to get leads again? They just kept coming to you, but you got to start now.
Yeah.
Andy, with that coaching call, is that individualized or is that like a group call on there?
I'm sorry. Hold on 1 second. I'm trying to turn this off. Okay.
It's a group call, Caleb.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a group call that's included with if for Freedom Team, the $9.95 offer, you get those coaching calls, and it's a group call. Zoom, I'm guessing, something like that.
Yeah, but now if you needed one-on-one something, you just I will give you a link to my calendar. We can always schedule something if you need some one-on-one help. That's not a problem. I mean, because I know I went through several coaching programs, and I know how hard it is and how frustrating it is to get the help. So I told Tim when we started this, I did not want to be that person. I didn't want to be the person who just puts it out there, sells it, and then goes, okay, there you go, $9.95. You're all good. Good luck. No, we're not doing that. So yeah, we try to be as helpful as we can possibly be. But number one, because we haven't been long started the program, so we're looking for people to actually use it, dive into it, and really be successful so that we can get some testimonials out there of people saying, hey, this was fantastic.
And is
Yeah.
there a link for like the Freedom Team deal?
What I'm gonna do is I'm going to I don't have Caleb, but what I'm gonna do is put in just contact me directly.
May I
Yeah,
ask you
just
a
contact me.
question?
I'm gonna give you my email address.
Andy, can I ask a question, not to put you on the spot, but in regards to the whole co-sponsoring, help me understand if somebody on here has an agent that's wanting to join,
Yeah.
they team up with you as a co-sponsor, you or Tim stuff, do they also get access to the YouTube, both of them? The sponsor and so both
Yeah.
okay, I just want to throw that
You're talking
out.
about the sponsor and the
Yeah, so somebody on here is going, man, I want the program for $9.95, but then they're going, wait a sec, I've got an agent friend of mine that I know loves YouTube, and if I can bring them on board with EXP and co-sponsor with you, do they both get the YouTube without having to pay if they're co-sponsored with you?
well, I mean, we're doing the co-sponsorship with the YouTube, but I don't know how to. I think
The
I'm
sponsor
confused.
should
Tim, are
pay
you
for it.
understanding?
Yeah, I'm trying to, Tim, you know what I'm trying to ask Tim, just to see if
Yeah.
somebody could save 1,000 if they co-sponsor with you and bring an agent on, or
Yeah,
no.
honestly, we've not been asked that before. We haven't even thought about that. What
Sponsor
he's
should
saying,
pay.
Andy, is if Sean co-sponsors with you on a new recruit, can Sean get the program for free as well? That
Oh,
was his
okay.
question.
That's
Yeah.
what he's saying. Well, I mean, I don't have. I mean, I'll defer that to Tim, but I would say I wouldn't have an issue with it.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. The
Yeah.
caveat would be you got to use it and you got
Yeah.
to give us testimonials because
So,
it is freaking awesome. Obviously, I've been through the entire program. I've bought a lot more expensive products myself over the years, and it truly is. Andy says it's so simple, a 10-year-old can do it. And that's exactly right. I mean, it's step by step by step. He's got chat GPT prompts that you can plug in for your market, and it'll tell you what to say in your video. I mean, it's that detailed. Um,
Andy and Tim, for agents that we're talking to, that would be interested. So, Andy, that's why I was kind of asking, because it's like, I know I can just reach out to you, but if I have agents, like I have agents under me at EXP, so it's more of, hey, I want to get them the help, and get them more productive. How, just so that I'm not bombarding you with just random emails from different agents. Um, if that was something we could get set up where it was easier for you, where I could just say, hey, go to this link, and they can sign up. That would be kind of that's what I was kind of hoping. I know I can just reach out to you, but I didn't want to have it be something that was disorganized if I'm was giving it to the agents that are under me at EXP.
Now, if you're doing it as a co-sponsorship and you're gonna, like if me or Tim one's gonna co-sponsor them, then yeah, we'll hook them up absolutely 100%. But if you're talking about a link to buy it as like a member of the Freedom Team, there is a link out there to buy it. But what I'd have to do is within that, it's through a program called School, SKOOL, and there's an invite link on there. And what you do is you just become a member of our magnetic marketing group, and then there's a button in there they can go in and click and buy it now. But I think I've got the price listed at $19.95. I have to figure out a way as like a promo code for Freedom Team.
Okay.
And so I'll make sure that question hasn't been posed yet either. So I'll make sure I do that. And then I'll share the link with everybody in the Freedom Team.
Yeah, that'd be good because I do have a number of agents that I think it would be really good for.
Okay.
But it would be just, ones that that already are either are already in Freedom Team, or are we're already with EXP, so it wouldn't be a co-sponsor, but
Gotcha.
just wanting to get them into that program, um, and bring them in, bringing them in through the Freedom Team.
Yeah, I'll get that set up. No problem.
Perfect. Thank
Andrew,
you.
did you have a question? You had your hand raised a minute ago.
Yeah, I have a question for Andy about YouTube.
Go ahead.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. I saw on your channel, good job, by the way, underneath all the information, it transcribed your topics. Is that a Chat GPT add-in, or is that a YouTube widget that, because I've got another channel that I run for my charity. So I'm pretty I'm 99.9% super familiar with everything you're talking about. And I haven't utilized it for my real estate channel. And I think I can quickly do everything based on what I saw you're doing, except that how it transcribes your conversation at the bottom by minute. Andy, do you remember if that's a add-in Chat GPT widget, or how you?
You're talking about on each video, so you're talking about the chapters, right?
Okay, you know your video you have pinned?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's the first one I looked at. I didn't look at all your video. Your video that you have pinned.
Yep.
Underneath all of your intro, it transcribes every, at 11 seconds, you're talking about this. It went.
Yeah, that's called chapters. Yeah. So
chapters.
Yeah. Yep. So
that's the name I'm looking for. Okay.
Yep. So let me tell you a YouTube trade secret that you need to go purchase right now. And I'll put the link in if you want me to, but it's TubeBuddy. You need to go buy TubeBuddy.
Okay.
And then I think I have a link where you can get a discount with TubeBuddy.
Oh yeah. And hopefully it's like Andy Hollis, whatever.
I think it is, let me see. Let me get it right here. I'll put it in here.
Okay.
I'll put it in the chat real quick.
Okay. There's so many offerings out there. Thank you, Andy, for saying that so quickly for me, because there's just a lot of offerings out there, and the trial and error wheel I don't want to be on anymore. So thank you for giving me that. TubeBuddy. Is TubeBuddy portable if you have more than one channel? Or do you have to buy it for each channel?
You have to buy it for each channel. Yeah,
Okay.
they don't do the, multiple channel things.
Okay, that's okay.
Tony, it's good to have you here today. You're on.
Thanks. I appreciate it. Sorry, I was muted.
Yeah.
I've been in a meeting all morning, so I just jumped in at the last minute.
Yeah.
Well,
for those of you that don't know, Tony's down there in Atlanta, and Tony's done what, 3 Remax offices?
Yeah, 3. Yeah, we have 3
offices. So he's been with us for a little bit. But yeah, it's good to see you today, bud.
Thank you.
Marcelino, can you unmute yourself real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
How are you doing with Fast Cap? You're like, I think, what is this, week 3?
Yeah, so this week 3, I'm actually just waiting another hour. We got they doubled it up because of the Memorial weekend, and so so today we're gonna have 2 classes, and yeah, the instructors are in there doing really, they're giving a lot of good information. It is again, I'm new to EXP. Thanks, Jeff, for reaching out to me, and
sure.
Yeah, Dream by Fire Hose, love the whole environment. I like that the accountability portion of it is really good, and so yeah, I was just gonna actually ask. We did do the co-sponsorship with Andy, so we could do this. I was just gonna ask, being in my new market, being in this market, in the process of going through your course, does it show, some tactics of how you can actually go over the market if you live in a populated area? Is there like certain areas that you focus in on, like one neighborhood for the most of it, and then you move to the next neighborhood, or how does that work out if you want to like take over a little bit of the city?
Yeah, within the training, it basically teaches you exactly how to do the research within TubeBuddy and on ChatGPT and Google, I think. So basically, it teaches you how to do the research to find out exactly where you want to start. But I'm going to tell you a little trick of the trade is you don't want to, it depends on where you live. You know, you don't like with me, I have a really populated area right down the road from me that's 45 minutes in Mobile, but I don't want to drive to Mobile. So I don't care if it's $1 million property, I'm probably not getting in the car to drive to Mobile. So I just don't want to work there. So I don't do videos there. So that's, you know, basically it tries to, so depending on where you are. So just say like the Dallas Fort Worth area, if you were in that area, well, there's so many of the big, huge neighborhoods, you know, you would basically want to, um, you know, you'd want to pick a neighborhood that's close by your house that's like up and coming. New construction's probably kicker in an area like that just because all these new neighborhoods popping up. You know, so with us, everything is kind of like laid out on the beach. You know, we want to focus on the beach, you know, because of course that's where all the $1 million properties are. And so, you know, we're targeting investors. But to answer your question, yes, it does teach you how to do research to find the best areas to start with, because you do want to start with the most popular area to start with so that you can start generating business faster. You know, that's what the goal would be is to make money as quick as you possibly can. And then you have in turn more money to spend to, you know, advertise more or whatever, you know, or make more video or whatever. So, but yes, to answer your question, it does teach you that. Yes.
Okay, good. Yeah, well, I'm out of Utah, and so it's exploding around here as
Yeah.
far as new construction. It just, yeah,
Oh
it's
yeah. Well, new
our basic
construction.
price point is about 535 for just a barely entry home, and
Wow.
yeah, most of the builders are about 850.
Wow.
Yeah, well, that's really good stuff to do there is new construction because then I'm sure the builders are like the builders around here. They're going to offer incentives. They're going to offer, you know, buy down rates or special rates or whatever. You know, they're going to offer things like, you know, all kinds of incentives to buy. You know, we've got some now that are offering $15,000 towards closing costs, you
Yeah.
know, which is crazy. So, and 2.9% rate on a fixed FHA loan, you
Wow.
know,
Wow.
just
That's
nuts.
incredible.
And so
Yeah.
on the builders on the new builds, are you working in? I've like when I've gone to some of the model homes, I've just worked with mainly those other real estate agents on that end, and just so monthly they just end up sending me like, hey, this month this is what we're kind of offering, or they'll send me like little emails that say, hey, on these ready to move in homes, we're offering like $37,000, or whatever it might be for a buy down or whatever the heck the buyer wants to use it for. And so on that, do you I was just gonna ask, do you ever do any type of like a monthly incentives of, just for informational videos, on your YouTube being like, hey, builders change this every month based off of what the market's telling them or what the banks are allowing them to do, and here's some of the incentives this month.
Well, the goal is you want them to contact you, right? You don't want them to
Right,
go to the builder. So,
right.
so what I normally do is I'll go in and I'll meet one of the builders. I might take them to lunch or whatever, or meet one of the reps, you know, for the builder. And then I'll ask them, I'll say, look, you know, I know you got your incentives out there, but is there anything, because they always wind up giving them something like a set of blinds or a new refrigerator or a fence,
Hmm.
whatever. So if you say, is there anything that you can give them that you can make it exclusive to me? So in other words, I want to make it sound exclusive, like they got to call me to get it. And then so whatever it is they tell you, so if they say, yeah, we'll throw in for all your buyers, we'll throw in a set of blinds, of the nice blinds. You say, okay. And then so when you do your video, you say, here's what this builder's offering now. These incentives change all the time. But listen, I've got a really special incentive that you're not going to want to miss, but you got to call me to get it, and then
Yeah.
just say it just, like that in the video and say, be sure and call me because you're not going to believe it. It's an unbelievable gift that they're only given to my clients. So I have an exclusive in with this builder. Make sure you call me and then say that in the video. And then that will entice people to call you instead of the builder.
Good.
I like that.
Some of our partners are actually in the video, including a link to book a time in your calendar. That's another way. just set aside 2 hours every night, 5:30, 6:30, 7:30, 8 o'clock, something, and ask them to just book a time with me. And that way you can do your pre-qual and everything over Zoom. Give them some more information, turn them over to your favorite lender, get them pre-approved. And then the beauty of this new construction that we're all talking about, because it is so hot right now because of these incentives, is the builders do most of the work.
Mhm.
I had dinner with Brad Carr, one of our new agents. He's actually in the Mobile market, just last night, and that's where his focus is going to be. He's going to become the new construction specialist in all of Baldwin County, Alabama. Boom. Just go out and memorize all the new inventory and all the incentives and start talking about it. Jeff has a story in Marcelino. First of all, welcome to Freedom Team. Glad to work with you, buddy. You've probably heard this before, but Jeff's got a partner in the Dallas area that what he put 22 houses under contract in 2 months.
22 under contract in 2 months. Yeah.
Doing
New
a video in
construction.
front of the house saying, why are you throwing your money away to your landlord? You could own this house for the same $2,000 monthly payment that you're getting for that 1,000 square foot apartment. Let me show it to you real quick. All you need is a 680 credit score and $5,000 down. Book an appointment in my calendar, and we'll see if we can get you pre-approved and show you where this is and all the housing that's available in this particular neighborhood, blah, 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 blah. Like Andy said, we're not saying the neighborhood, we're not saying the builder, because we want them to call us. We
Yeah.
don't want them to go to the builder and do an end run around us, but because builders just going to make more money. They don't care. Most builders that have all these incentives, they absolutely want to work with agents. DR Hortons is a big builder down here in Orange Beach and Gulf Shores, and they prefer to have an agent involved. But they'll do all the paperwork, all the electronic signatures. All I do is tell them, I said, send me all that stuff first. I want to review it before you send it to my client. And they do all the work. You show up for the pre-home inspection 1 week before closing, and the walkthrough to create the punch list on the things they might not have gotten done that they have to do, fulfill to the buyer after the closing. It's a pretty simple process.
Yeah,
Hey,
great.
Andy, quick question on you had talked about some of the equipment you have. What what mic are you using? I'm looking at maybe getting a DJI mic mini just to use for videos with the windbreak. Do you have one you recommend?
Well, I use in the training, I actually have a list of the stuff that I bought from Amazon, but I don't
There
know
you
off
go.
the top
Never
of my head
mind.
what it is. Yeah. But
Caleb,
yeah,
I think
I'll
you
get
need
it
to
on the
buy the
training.
training, buddy.
it's just it's a little lapel mic. I've actually got it plugged up over there charging, but
It's like 20
Yeah.
bucks or 30
yeah,
bucks.
it was cheap on the lapel mics. I mean, I'm fixing to buy another one because I use an iPhone 14 for all the filming, and it has the old lightning plug. And then now, I've got a new iPhone, and the new iPhone uses a different plug-in, so I've got to get a new
Right.
lapel mic. But then this is it's a what is it called? Zeal Sound mic right here that I use for my office, and that's what I use for all the office stuff. Um, and then, in the training, it actually tells you, one of the tricks of the trade is if you're outside filming yourself in front of a property, you never want to use the self-facing, way. You always want to use the back end of the camera, because you're going to get a wider shot. So you want everything included in there, but all that's in the training. It tells you exactly I mean, it literally to the word tells you exactly how to position yourself in front of the house. It tells you exactly how to position the camera, how to put it on the selfie stick, everything, so it tells you everything.
I'll get myself and a few others to sign up to buy the training. That way you can go buy a new mic.
There you go.
He can afford a new mic. Hey, quick question before we wrap up about this. So we've talked the whole time about the results, why it's important to do YouTube. It's a free advertising. All of that takes a little bit to get it going, but once you do, $80 million in the pipeline in 2.5 years, pretty incredible without spending a dime. But to get it started, it takes a little bit of time and a little bit of effort as you really get started. And so tell everybody what time frame they should expect the first month or so to really invest every week, because one thing that happens a lot to your statistic of only 4% of the people, right, or have it over 1,000. I think people get started and then they quit because they don't realize it's kind of like getting that plane off of the runway. It takes more time in the beginning to do it, but if you stick with it, then you're, you know, smooth sailing at 80 million in a pipeline 2 years later. So be realistic, just to set the expectation for everybody as they get started into YouTube, how much time they should allot, you know, the first several weeks.
Well, I think that's really going to depend on you because it's going to depend on what size market you're in. It's also going to depend on whether you're doing this by yourself or not. If I had to do this by myself and I didn't have a partner out there making videos with me, and you know, I also do all my own video editing, which I would highly not suggest. I would highly suggest hiring that out unless you're passionate about it. I like it. But a lot of people don't like it and don't want to learn it, and I understand that. But I would say in our market, it took us 4 months to get the first phone call. If you're in a bigger market and you do persistently one video a week, just one video a week, that you're probably with this training, you could absolutely cut that time down, I would say, in half, is what I'm thinking. Now, I don't know that, and I don't have any proven statistics to say that, but I'm just telling you that's a gut feeling because of the way that I know the markets are.
I was talking more about the number of hours, like the first week, the first, second week, third week, you know, should they plan on spending 5 to 10 hours a week, you know, as they're really learning everything, figuring it out, how to shoot the video right, all of that. Even if let's assume they're not going to edit their own videos, right? What time does it take to invest if you're a newbie to really start in the groove?
Well, let's say you bought the training and you want to go through the training. If you really sat down and went through it, I would dedicate a couple hours a day to learning it and really honing your craft. And then not every day, but maybe 2 days a week. And then after that, you know, the way we do it now is we have 1 day a week that we go out and we film, you know, shoot videos. And then the rest of the week is, you know, dealing with real estate. So we just dedicate 1 day a week to it. So that's kind of what I would say is if you dedicate 1 day a week to it, it probably wouldn't eat you up.
Yeah.
And your time frame's probably going to look the same.
Yeah.
Cool. Real quick, guys, I did put the link in there to FastCap. There's a class that actually starts today. If anybody, it's still open for registration. There's one that starts June 4th, which is a nighttime class for those who have part-time or full-time jobs and trying to get over to full-time real estate. You can go in and register for that one as well. So just an FYI, okay? The link is in there. You can go to expuniversity.com. That's just a great website to bookmark and hang on to because all the trainings and stuff are put in there. I've just got it saved to my computer, but there's a link on there to the FastCap program. So just an FYI on that. That's what Marcelina's going through. We got new agents going through that, and there's been 20-year-old agents go through that program who have, you know, advanced their business because of what they learned in that class. So anyway, we do need to wrap this up. We have another meeting, a small group of us in here. So if you're part of that meeting, stick around. If you're not, thank you very much. Andy, thank you for all the stuff you're sharing.
Thank you, Andy.
Really
so
appreciate
much.
it. Great to see you guys. Okay. Have a great day. We'll be
Welcome aboard, all the
we'll be back.
newbies.
Yes.
Bye.